you're seeing a lot of interesting trends. We're in this sort of messy middle period right now where we're still home, but we're starting to venture out. What trends do you see and do you expect to see in your business as a result of this new transformation?
Well, actually, I think that's the really fun part about watching the data on this is we can very clearly see as different states opened up and as different travel trends were happening, we can watch our own data and understand exactly what behaviors are being driven by some of those moves. And a big part of what we've seen is while there is, of course, as you would expect when people travel or people start going back out again, a little bit of a reduction in maybe order rate. What we are seeing is some of those strong value metrics that we put out in this quarter and have been putting out quarter after quarter as we've grown our average revenue per customer 22% year over year into Q1 to $331 a customer. Those patterns are holding steady where people are still spending more, people are still cooking at home, and you're seeing what I would call more normal trends around travel actually coming back in. But that's fine because they're on the backs of something that's a much higher value customer than what you were looking at before because we tried to engage people with those valuable products.
Interesting. You are also adding a slew of new products, add-ons, meaning you can add an appetizer, dessert, a side to a meal. You've got these butcher bundles, high-end burgers. You've got a partnership with Roy Yamaguchi, the famous chef from my home state of Hawaii. How much do you think these new things will really drive the business?
Well, it's actually a really critical part of our strategy. We said early on that we were going to focus first on evolving the product to drive more new value into our customer base. So we want to make sure that every customer, we're providing maximum value to them and that they'll stay around longer, that we can engage them in multiple products. And then we could build marketing and growth engines for acquisition on top of that because it becomes a lot more efficient. And so honestly, these products are really just a result of listening to our customers and what they want and what they expect to get from Blue Apron. And so things like the Butcher Bundle and being able to provide proteins that you can grill through the summer or elevated burgers. People already love our burgers, but now they'll have, that restaurant quality choice of a burger they might want to have at home on the weekend. All of those things just further engage customers and help them find different things each week that interest them and something that keeps them coming back for more.
Meantime, I know the supply chain has been so disrupted and also kind of a fascinating study in experimentation. Are you seeing an increase in raw materials in, the foods that make this happen? And how do you deal with that going forward?
Yeah, I think we're seeing a little bit of an interesting balance now. So, we continue to see that the logistics chains are really, really stretched. And so there's a lot of cost fluctuations there. But again, one of the things that makes Blue Apron unique is we have a direct sourcing model. So 70% of what we put into the box comes directly from the producers. We source very high quality ingredients. So we're sourcing from a very elevated supply chain. And we have really long and good relationships with our suppliers. So we're making sure that we stay really close with them and manage those relationships really carefully. So we've been able to balance those two things off of each other to make sure that we can still deliver very high quality at a reasonable value. I think the more interesting aspect of it, too, is because of those tight relationships with suppliers, we're really able to reduce food waste using a Blue Apron box's 25% lower carbon footprint than going to the grocery store. And so the fact that we can keep food waste down both in our facility and in your home means we can also manage that supply chain a lot more tightly and keep prices reasonable.